Today I'm going to do another little test on my Akai 1010 receiver. I want to see what the signal to noise ratio is at the aux input. I suspect that it's not going to be fully up to specs anymore because of the uh, change of component values after all these years. So I got my oscilloscope probes hooked up across my 8 ohm dummy load, and I'm feeding in a 1000 hertz sine wave, and the sine wave I'm feeding it in with my HP 3325B, and as a scope I'm using my old Tech 2235. So I got the receiver on, I got the aux button pushed in. Of course, like I always do, I got the bass and treble neutral position. I got the loudness button off, and yeah, at the moment I got the volume turned down. I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume up. So next thing I do is I adjust my signal generator until the amplifier starts clipping. See, that's aux, so I'm going to have to give it a little bit of juice. So I'm getting something so what I do now is I bring the signal generator up until the receiver starts clipping. Okay, and it should be about what I measured before, which was around, when I did the power output test, which was about 30 volts peak to peak. Now I'm going to shut the audio generator off. I still got it connected, but I got it off, and I'm going to go ahead and change the volts per division on my oscilloscope. Right now I'm down to about 5 millivolts per division, and I would say that's about, since it's 5 millivolts per division, it's got about 5 millivolts of basically noise. Now I have to do the math. I've got a table for that. So what I'm doing here is to get the signal to noise ratio. I'm taking the maximum power output voltage that I read, which was around 30 volts peak to peak. That's right before the receiver started clipping, and then I have to divide that by the signal that I read once the signal generator was shut off, but the receiver was still on, of course, and the volume was still all the way up. That was, I think I read 5 millivolts. So then I have to take the 30 volts that I read and then divide that by the 5 millivolts. And that gave me a voltage ratio of 6,000. Now I'm going to go to the internet, and there's a website, I think it's called Sing Peel Audio, and then just punch in the numbers and it'll do the calculation for me. So, where was that at? Okay, I think it was right here. And I read 6,000. And now I got the calculation. And the calculation actually shows me, here you can see the 6,000 where my thumb's at, and the dB level is 75. And according to the specs in this receiver, it's supposed to be 90. So the signal to noise ratio is kind of low. But then again, I mean, the receiver is like over 30 years old, and I'm sure some of the components have changed value. So I don't think I'm going to do anything further to it. I just did this out of curiosity.